Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the GEICO 15-Minute Moto Show. I'm your host, Ralph Sheheen, and joining me today, the 1997 Supercross Champion, Jeff Emig. Fro, how you doing today?
I'm great, Ralphie. But when you say 1997, now I'm starting to feel old. It's just I'm starting to like former champion is fine. I'll go with former. But when you put the date on it, I don't know.
Just old guy in general?
Yeah. Look at the grays coming in.
Yeah, but you're not riding like an old guy because you're still racing.
Well, I am. Yeah. This summer, I decided to make a trip back to the ranch again. The largest, greatest amateur motocross race in the world is the AMA Amateur Motocross Championship, and it's at Loretta Lynn's ranch. And so those of us in the motocross industry, we just call it Loretta's. And it's hallowed ground for all of us. And, obviously I made my pro career happen by racing there as an amateur. I raced there for the first time in '83. It has become the most prestigious event on the amateur motocross schedule. But I've also raced there 3 times as a veteran after my professional career. So I really find a lot of enjoyment in it. I love going back there and racing. It's extremely difficult in every class. I always say, whether it's the kids, the 4-year-olds that are on 50 cc's, or the plus 50s, where I'm in this year, or the 15-year-olds that are getting ready to turn pro, every class there is competitive, and to win a championship there is a great achievement. And for a lot of individuals in our sport, just making the qualifying from the area qualifier to the regional to qualify for Loretta's is an amazing achievement. So I've done that, but I still have the finals coming up here in about 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah, if you follow a lot of you guys, meaning former, as you said, stars of the sport, whether it's champions or race winners or so forth and so on, a lot of you guys are in the midst right now of trying to qualify for Loretta's, and it really is an arduous process, isn't it?
Yeah, because you have to do an area qualifier, and so normally you can knock that out in a day. But this year, because I'm working on a video project on a documentary with my return to the ranch, I did an area qualifier in 2 separate regions, to where that if something went wrong and something was funky in my main region, that I would have, let's say, a backup regional to go to. But thankfully, everything's gone, on schedule, and did the area, and then just finished the regional at Fox Raceway last weekend. And so now I'm qualified for Loretta's another time. And Ralph, I'm telling you, if you had asked me, 1983, the first time that I raced Loretta's, that at age 50, I would still be riding motocross, and I would still want to ride all of this, I would have maybe not been able to answer. But if I had answered, I would have said, "Nah, you're crazy. At age 50, I wouldn't be riding." But here I am, and I love it. I'm in the best shape I've been in a long time. I'm really enjoying it. And what's interesting is that racing motocross, even at this level, it adds so much structure to my life and so much focus. So then my entire day, my entire week is based around, okay, what am I doing for riding? What am I doing for training? And then slotting in family life, work life, relaxation, things like that. So, but honestly, I've really enjoyed it. I'm just having a blast.
So you're actually living a schedule now very similar to what you would have been doing back in the 90s, for example, outside of adding in the family part of it's a little different. But you are basing your day around training, thinking about racing. A lot of your guys from that era, you're wearing Rhino Hughes' shirt right there for his Rhino power. He's another one doing the exact same thing. Is one of the reasons why you're able to do that now because so many others are doing the same thing, that everybody understands this training regimen and this lifestyle, and everybody's developing products like Ryan and so forth and so on to make it possible? Or was there something about that generation that was a little different?
I think that our generation, I would say that we're professionals in the 90s, have found a way to extend our careers. And for the most part, not a lot of us are wanting to switch to a different sport. And I admire the riders that have. I mean, Jeff Ward raced Indy many times. Carmichael did, truck racing and all that sort of stuff with NASCAR, so on and so forth. Ricky Johnson, off-road riding and all that. So I can't really speak for them, other than for me, I've only wanted to be involved in Supercross and motocross. And you know how passionate I was about the broadcasting side of things. And this is what I do. And I coach a lot of individuals or parents with kids that race motocross, and sometimes I have to have some sort of hard talks with them about, hey, why are you doing this? There is a little bit of risk involved. It's not like you're bowling or playing tennis or something, but that's also why we do it, is because of the thrill and the adrenaline and that thing that makes you feel alive. And I tell them, I said, look, whatever it is in life that puts living in your life, okay? And for me, it's motocross, right? Clearly. It makes me feel alive. I want to get up and get my day going because it puts living in my life. So if you are a fortunate enough person in life to find something like that, and then you're good at it, like, go for it. And if it gives you that drive to work hard, to save money, to earn money, to get in shape, to, whatever the case, and it brings fulfillment to your day, then do it. And so that's what I'm doing at age 50.
How different is it trying to be competitive at 50 than it was trying to be competitive, in your late teens, early 20s when you were racing for championships? I mean, do you, as you're riding now, you're actually probably riding a bike. Well, no, you're riding a 150, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's a little different than what you would have won your 250 championship on. But you still have to size up the obstacles a little differently, I would assume.
Yeah, surprisingly, the 150 isn't as underpowered as you think, comparing it to a 450. I mean, if you look at a dyno chart, it's not even close. But the performance on the track is much more level than what you'd think. The difference, though, Ralph, is that, so in my classes and my qualifiers, and the amount of guys that I legitimately match up with speed wise, going to Loretta's in both of my classes, the 45 plus and the 50 plus, we're talking about guys like Mike Brown, Kurt Nickel from England, Ryan Hughes. There's going to be a few guys around the country, but we're talking about maybe 4 or 5 riders that are going to be, will be close in lap times. Whereas, you go to a pro motocross and there may be the top 12 that are within the same second, right?
Yeah.
And there's another 12 that are just a click off of that and a click off of that. So, that's it makes it a little bit easier, but you still have to go out and you have to execute. But I will say that the purpose of this, it clearly, for me, and what I really hope to get across in the documentary that I'm doing in partnership with Shift MX and Vermoto, is that it's not really about the result, it's about the journey, right? Like, adding a Loretta's championship is great. The goal is to go win a race and all that, but the journey and that living this time period and doing these races and overcoming the obstacles, like I thought I broke my ankle a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, like, overcoming those challenges and all of that, living that, is the purpose. If the end result is that I add a Loretta's title, then I'm going to take it proudly and all that. But it's about the process and living that time period, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, talking about living a time period, you lived the 90s. And you're the face of a generation in a lot of ways there, Jeff. And look, that's where the nickname comes from. Everybody knows you as Fro Daddy. How does it feel to be the face of a generation, not just because of what you did on the track, but some of what you did off?
Well, I certainly didn't think about any repercussions or advantages that it would give me 25 or 30 years down the line. I was just living it. And I've always been an open book. I try to be honest with myself, and I try to be honest with other people too. You know, and I try not to hide my flaws. Like, I'm human just like everyone else. The thing about the 90s and motocross, it literally was like what the 60s were to rock and roll. I mean, it was crazy. There's no way that you could have lived the life that we did nowadays because of the cell phone and videos and pictures and all that sort of stuff. It just allowed us to be very real and very free. And some of us, we made just enough money to buy a boat and have a nice house, and I had a tour bus for a little while. Why I had one, I don't know. I felt the need to have one. I mean, you had enough money to do all that, and we just lived a really fun life. And I was fortunate enough to be around a lot of great people, a lot of great friends. I had roommates most of the time, and we partied down at times, but we also, would get our work done. And for me, there were multiple times that I'd wake up with a hangover, but my running shoes, my shorts, and my heart rate monitor and my sunglasses, I used to set them next to the bed. So when I woke up in the morning, like, all right, time to pay the piper. You want to go play? You got to pay. So I'd go knock out, my training and whatnot. So, I don't know. We had a good time with the 90s. And the nickname thing, I mean, you don't choose your nickname, it chooses you. How that came about, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of the all-time greats. Okay, so if you had to pick one that, as you look back on it, you say, okay, that was the most rock star thing, or my favorite thing about 90s Jeff, is it the tour bus, the shift ads, the nickname? Yeah, any one of those three.
So yeah, certainly the ads that we did with Shift MX, with the jet, and the one, I was a spaceman, I was floating in space, and little did we know that was very, very much art imitating life. There was a Kawasaki ad, like a championship ad.
Yeah.
And it was this blurry photo from Supercross, and it said, for Jeff Emig, 1997 was just a blur. Like, I was maybe going so fast that I didn't see, whatever. It was like, oh.
Yeah, it might have been.
No, I gotta send you the photo for this. But so there was, I did a photo shoot with Chris Holtner, and I'm not sure what it was for. Whether it was for Shift or for Racer X or something. Actually, it was a Racer X feature in 1998. So I'm on top of my bus. I had a Newell. It was just beautiful, awesome coach. And it had like an observation deck on top. So we put the rails up on the observation deck, and we did a photo shoot out in a dry lake bed on this side of Vegas. So we're coming home from Vegas, partying all night. And then we do this photo shoot. We're driving, my driver, Tim Dixon's driving the bus, like hauling ass. And I'm up on top on the observation deck, dust billowing out behind, and I'm on top, like, yeah. Well, little did we know is that those tour buses, like the Newell, are not meant to be driven in the dirt like that. So all the air filters and oil filters and all that stuff, I mean, it cost a couple $1,000s in service just to fix like all the engine stuff and like prep it again because of the damage that day did. Plus, we were doing these circles, and one time he starts to take a circle and the thing starts like getting loose on him. I mean, we're talking like he's at Eldora and he's got the power down, except I was the wing in this situation. Yeah. And I'm on top of the bus and I'm feeling it. I mean, you're not super comfortable up there anyway. No. Then he starts to turn and you're feeling, I think we're breaking loose a little bit. So we could have ended it all right there. That would have been the end of the story.
Well, I think my favorite 90s moment with you would be Fresno Smooth, but that's a conversation
Oh,
for another day.
yeah.
Let me ask you about this. Like any good racer, you got plenty of logos on your body, the Shift stuff. You've been Shift's ambassador for years. Ryan Hughes, you work with him and Rhino Power. Obviously, you've got your grip company going. What else are you doing these days that maybe the folks can find out more about what Jeff Emig's up to?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously I've had, a 27-year relationship. So whatever the end of 96 was, with Shift MX, and Fox Racing is the parent company. So just amazing to have been, an athlete for that brand, and then representing them still to this day. I do support Rhino Power. So I have an ambassador affiliate program with them. So if you want to buy some product, use the discount code EMIG20. You get a 20% discount. Irenic Wellness, so a CBD company, have been working with them, discount code EMIG15. No discounts on the grips though. The project that I started on the project with ODI grips in 2012, came out with the first EMIG V2 lock-on in 2013. We now have the EMIG Pro V2 lock-on. I think it's the best grip. Our customers, when they comment on Instagram or social media, they say this is the best grip ever. So you can check those out at odigrips.com. So that's kind of the business side of things. Ralph, I have a little side project. I have a market and grill down on Balboa Island,
Yep.
which is Newport Beach, California. So my partners, Tony and Christina Strangio, and I, so we started this during COVID. So I spent all last summer, basically, I didn't ride or anything for about 3 months. I was just living the life down in Newport Beach, Balboa Island. So if you're down that way, check it out.
Yeah, they can find you in there running the register, right?
That's right. Well, not anymore.
No?
Not anymore.
You're big dogging now.
Yeah, I don't spend
right.
as much time down there as I did last year. That's for sure.
All
During
right.
COVID, I was there every day.
Well, you're racing. You got to get ready for Loretta's, right?
That's right.
Okay, so tell everybody when Loretta's is, and so you can keep an eye on how you did.
Yeah, so Loretta Lynn's Amateur Motocross National. Every year, it's the first week of August. This year, I guess it'd be the 1st through the 7th, 2nd through the 7th. mxsports.com. You can go there to find the race. There's live timing and scoring. There's also a live webcast of every race all day long. So you can imagine what that's like. It's insane. So you can go on and watch the races and their schedules. You can check it all out, and you can see me and some of the old guys out there still trying to rip it up. And, my only hope is that I get one of my races is at a prime part of the day where the track's really good, and I can go out and actually try to set a really good lap time, because I would really like to know where I'm at against the top kids that are, we're going to see them in Supercross Pro Motocross next year.
Right.
I'd like to match up with them one last time. So
That'd be great. All right.
we'll see.
Fro, all the best to you, buddy. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back with another GEICO 15-minute moto show every Monday afternoon right here through your friends at Speed Sport. We'll see you soon.